And we're back in Everybody Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy, brought to you by Best Hole in One. It's bestholeinone.com. You want to build that prize package for your fundraiser golf tournament, putting contests, or choose your own prizes, cash, trips, cars, you name it. It's bestholeinone.com. They also have the bestholeinone.com golf club. If you get a hole in one as an amateur just playing with your buddies, you could win up to $2,500. Go to bestholeinone.com to join their bestholeinone.com membership today, or call them at 844-923-7844.
You're so good at that, Mike.
Thanks. Good at something.
So Roy has been, and Owen are kind of spent a lot of time with us, and Owen hasn't said a whole lot, but I'm glad you're still with us here, Owen. But he has to get home to his doggy, and he's been here for quite a while. But so if we got into this conversation, the golf swing and teachers, are they teaching to form, or are they teaching for the player to function well, or form or preform? I like perform. I like that. Form or perform. Can't say it, but I like what I'm thinking. Because and you said earlier today, we were at the golf course, that the modern era of you guys are using all these machines and analysis and TrackMans and everything else that's going on. And what was the one you were using today? Where he was FlightScope. In my era, was nothing near that stuff. It was more of a feel, get people striking it and getting what happens at impact working.
Yeah.
So is it are we getting our teachers trying to push too much of positions, great, like robots, if you will, great setups, perfect backswing position, perfect all of that, or are they letting players be the players? And I'm just curious, what's your philosophy, if you can, and share? And I'm going to share something I just shared with Owen about Owen, but
yeah, I mean, this is a long answer, but there's, as you guys know, there a lot of the younger teachers, I think, coming up get so caught up in numbers and chasing perfect numbers. And today, when Owen and I were out, we went out to his dad's class, Cal Poly class, and we were kind of showing some of the students the technology and what it does. And my first advice was, if you are on any of this, don't chase perfect numbers. Don't the whole. In a nutshell, when I get somebody, my number one thing, regardless of age, is make sure the body's moving in a healthy way. Make sure the body's moving how it should. The swing can all look different. Everyone's got different ways of getting it done. I believe that the golf swing, the mechanics of the golf swing need to be improved to the point where we can create a functional ball flight that we can take to the golf course, whatever that is. If you've got a functional ball flight, go learn to use it and score.
And I bring this up, and I watched it on TV the last few times. When I was playing and on the driving ranges in the mid-'80s, you can look down the range and you can spot who's whom just by watching them swing.
Yeah.
If you look down the range from a distance nowadays, they almost look exactly the same.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's right.
They're like machines nowadays. Now there are a few exceptions, obviously, but they really, the Trevinos and swung a whole lot different than Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer did, and Jerry Pate and Johnny Miller's with the big C's. I mean, everybody was different.
Yeah.
But they got the job done.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it seems like the college golfers, and Owen, I think, is the exception to this, because yes, he has perfect form. I've watched his swing, and I've said many times, I think you have one of the most sound golf swings and position-wise that anybody I've ever seen in all of my career of working with golfers. But you also know how to golf your ball. I mean, and he knows how to play. And you won't miss it very often because of those positions he's in and the way he moves.
That.
But you can golf your ball, and if you get into trouble, which rarely, you can get out of it because your brain is working. He is artistic as well as mechanical.
Yeah.
And I think the art form's going away, and it has to do with the ball, and it has to do with the clubs. They're built to go far straight, less spin, less art, which is amazing what like Bubba can do with a golf ball, or like you hitting the hook around the tree in the par 3 of the 6-iron.
Yeah.
That's hard to do with a modern day golf club.
Yeah. Because they're designed to not move it as much.
Exactly.
But
everything's reducing.
But as instructors, and I don't instruct the highest quality players, except for with Owen as an exception. But I work with younger people and stuff that are coming up, and it's not because of me that Owens. It's just because Owens who he is. But it's I'm more for get the feel and the club, getting the result you want by getting the club face right position, how it gets there. What's the right grip? What's the right stance? What's the right this and that? But I'm just curious. I like you just get them moving right.
Yeah,
get them actually to move. But what do you do? You're using all the machines and looking for numbers.
Well, here's what's funny. I have that technology,
works.
But the only time I've really pulled it out is when I do the first lesson, and I have what's called the pre-interview, I guess you'd call her post-interview. And I get a sense of who they are, ask what they do for a career, what have they done, how long have they played, and you usually can kind of figure out what they are, and if they like that stuff, and if you really think it's going to benefit them. So like today, I don't get those people a lot, but like today, I had a gentleman who he came all the way up from Napomo, and he goes, he went. It's not to any of us, but he went somewhere, and he's like, man, I just had a bad experience, and someone said that you should go up to Paso and see Mike or Mike. And he just happened to get me. And he's a really good player, and he's older. Really, he's tall like you. He's probably in his late 50s. So there's a guy I'm thinking, maybe he wants to see his swing on the phone. Like really simple, right? Just iPhone movie. That's it. Nothing fancy, no numbers to it, nothing. So I watch him swing, and I'm like, okay, this is perfect because it'll just show him how through impact, he's not continuing a rotation.
Yeah.
And so then what comes of that is I show him the video, and he goes, oh, that's really funny. He goes, I've just been trying to stay over the ball longer through impact. And he goes, that just verifies right there that I shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
And within like a minute, he got over the ball, and he's turning, and he's turning, and he's turning. And he goes, and he had his left knee replaced 2 years ago. He goes, this doesn't hurt anymore.
Yeah.
So, like, to me, there's a perfect example of technology, really simple technology, just slow-mo video on an iPhone. It's no numbers, and it was great. Now, I wouldn't do that for everybody, but I feel like there's a time and a place, I guess, for those things.
And I'll ask Rory, and I know you know where I come from, but I think the video is great for the instructor. I think it hinders the student.
Yeah.
So that because this was from 1904. This is a quote from J.H. Taylor. He's a 5-time British Open champion. His quote is, I'm certain that there can be no freedom, no natural swing in hitting the golf ball if the mind is occupied by instructing the body. Mm-hmm. So if your mind is trying to instruct your body to do something, so when you show someone a video, I think you should be right here. And in this position, right before impact, you got to be right. You got to drop this in the slot and make sure the club's coming this way, moving out that way. But make sure you hold on to the club face because you don't want, so the rotation's going to happen with your lower body, and your hands are going to try to sync them up together. So if they start thinking this stuff, they can't play. This was in 1904. This guy's saying you got to swing and not think. So that's basically what he's saying.
Add to what this guy said as soon as I showed it, because I still have the video on here. He goes, after he hit about 10 balls after he saw the video, he goes, I'm not even thinking about striking the ball anymore.
Yeah.
And so, like what you were saying, to me, like my light bulb went off as soon as you said it. It was like a form of a function, a form or a movement he can make that's a healthy movement with his body that's repeatable.
Yeah.
And it immediately changed his impact, his centerness of hit, his ball flight, everything. He goes, oh my gosh, this is incredible. So I agree with what that gentleman says from 1904. This was just something that, and that's how I usually use my phone. This is something that it just clicked for him. I didn't have to say anything. I just showed him a visual thing.
I could really appreciate video if swing happens in 1.2 seconds on average, maybe sometimes less. And then what can you honestly see? And Darren's always asked, how do you see the golf swing? And Owen's asked, well, how do you see? I've been training my eye for 35, 40 years of what to look for and where to look for it.
Right.
But if you can't spot it, then looking at a golf video for the instructor can confirm or at least kind of lead you in something that you haven't seen. But in turn, this is just my opinion. If you show the student that, or if the student is taking a swing, going back, looking at a camera, going into another swing, coming back, looking at his camera, not going to mention names, but Jack comes to mind. And you go back. But how do you apply?
That's hard.
Of course it is. And it's just, that's not how it functions.
Right.
That's not how the brain and body function together.
Right.
They don't. They're and Jack is brilliant. He's a friend of mine. Jack's a friend of mine.
Right. I like to use it kind of like Mike does, where it's you rather than because then you start playing perfect golf swing when you do it that way, and that's not good. And if you use it to kind of and this comes from Butch Harmon, is the feel versus real. Because a lot of times people argue and say, "No, I don't think I'm doing that." Well, look. Here you go.
But I've known people who have quit because they saw themselves. Remember, we had a student that finally saw himself on our video thing when we did Academy. He quit because he didn't know he looked that bad. He started riding bikes. Remember that guy? He quit golf because we showed him what he looked like.
Well,
here's a true story.
I'll add to this because on
How
the
sad
way
is that? We caused the guy to quit. Check you out, man. Whoa.
On the way down when I was driving here to record the show tonight, the guy emails me, but it comes text email.
Yeah.
Can you send me the video?
See?
And I'm not going to.
Well, it's just my opinion, by the way, guys. I don't use video camera all the time.
But
Depends
this
on the
is the
student.
reason. He saw the video once, and after he saw the video, he didn't miss a shot. He didn't miss a shot for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So, like you talk about, like an instructor, when you help somebody out, the hardest thing sometimes to do is just be quiet and shut up and just let
It's
him.
the best thing to do.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I didn't say anything. I let him hit balls for 20 minutes. He didn't really miss a shot, and I said, "Hey, I'm just going to let you hit the rest of those, and I'll be in the shop. You can whatever. We'll come talk
Yeah.
about whatever you want to do next." So he reached this what I considered a real big pinnacle in the lesson, but he wants more.
Yeah.
And so to me,
That's
he
sometimes-
doesn't need more.
Right.
He's already got it.
Well, you got to
Yeah.
you got to explain that to him.
Well, then
Yeah,
that
because-
goes into the functional
Well, how many
ball
lessons
flight.
have
If
you and
he's
I
got
had?
a
It's been
functional
3
ball
minutes.
flight, now it's like, what are your
3
goals?
minutes.
Because some people
Right.
I get are, they just say, the 50 plus crowd, the retired crowd.
What are you saying, man?
I get, no, you guys are great.
You guys,
Don't you have a dog to get through? That is so sorry.
that's awesome. That's
So,
cool.
so I get probably two main things. It's one, I want to lower my score, or two, I just want to hit it solid. I don't care what I shoot. And so,
Be consistent. How many times have you heard that?
Oh,
That's what he
every-
wanted today.
every
That's what he
time,
wanted.
But you can be
consistent.
consistently bad.
Yeah, no, I
He
explained
wanted to
that.
consistently strike the ball well,
Yeah.
and that's what he was doing.
Yeah, so if you
Right,
want to
yeah.
strike the ball consistently,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
But for a guy like that, if his goals are just to strike it consistently, great, you're there.
Right.
But then if it's lower score, then
There's a
that brings
whole
in the
nother-
new conversation.
well,
It says,
of
okay,
course.
now you've got a functional ball flight. Let's go see how do we maximize
Well,
that ball flight before we take that next
Well,
step
you
up.
can tell
Because I
that
think a lot of younger guys get these swings so pretty and so good, and they still miss cuts because they're, these
There's
younger
no
generation
question.
coming up. They have the most beautiful golf swings you've ever seen, but they're not.
They're not golfing the ball.
Yeah, they're not performing.
Right.
They
They
it's
are
like-
good form. They're not performing.
yeah.
Write that part down. But it's true, and that's
Totally.
what I mean with
very
Owen.
true.
He's the exception. He's got great form, which is not that. There's great players, and Furyk and Freddie Couples and these guys come to mind who are great players. Their form is nothing you'd ever teach. You can't. You would never teach that.
No.
How great are those guys?
Jim
players?
Furyk.
That's
I mean-
what Furyk and Couples too. Couples is there's no way you can
Amazing.
teach that golf swing.
Yeah,
But
amazing.
they're
Yeah.
champions.
Yeah.
So and then there's now the Justin Thomases and the Jordans and these guys are out of the same group. They're great players, but they almost look exactly the same. So the difference is going to be in their heads. It's going to be who golfs their
Yeah,
ball.
who can score?
And they're great. And putting is kind of big. What do you think, they're Owen?
Yeah, it's somewhat
So,
important.
but Roy, we have to get you back on once you're, I know you got it going, but it's neat to see that you're in the teaching world now. You're 27. It makes me very proud, but I think junior golf is a passion of yours. I might not
No,
be.
I love it.
But I think, and I do see you as the junior golf guru of Central Coast in years to come. And I can tell you that the little role I played in that, there's nothing cooler. And so it's
Following some good footsteps.
I'm very proud of you and of what you've done. And Owen, I'm sorry you didn't get a whole lot of time, but you got to tell a joke. So we're gonna let him tell a joke on the way out.
Yes.
And the listeners will vote on which joke they think was told the best, and we give out round. We call it joke around.
Is what was told the best or
Yeah,
the best joke?
Told the best. Yeah, I was suck at
I feel like
telling
there
jokes.
could
So
be
I'm giving.
some-
I am the worst joke teller.
I'm a
This is
terrible
tough
joke teller.
because you have to deliver it.
Yeah, it's delivery.
You got to deliver it well
Man,
for
I'm
the
sorry,
listener,
everybody.
for the listener to buy it. That's the hard part.
They're not going to be
Do you know
laughing
what-
with
do you know what
me. They're going to be laughing at
Justice's
me.
joke was, little Justice was?
Yeah.
How many golfers does it take to change a light bulb? 4!
That was a good one.
And he won.
That was
I
actually
feel
a
like
really
Justice
good
would win at anything. Justice just wins.
It's not even fair.
Yeah.
It really is amazing. So yours is right there in the bottom, bud.
Okay.
All right, here's Rory Dahl's joke of joke around.
Says Rory.
Yeah, well, you don't have to read that part. That's you.
Well, yeah.
That means you.
We're trying to,
That's part of your foursome.
say like my involved. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. I'm involved in this.
Yes,
this
you are.
is mine.
That's part of your foursome.
Okay. So it looks like a reporter was once interviewing Jack Nicklaus, and he said, "Hey Jack, you're spectacular. Your name is synonymous with this game of golf. You really know your way around the golf course. What's your secret?" To which Jack replied, "Well, the holes are numbered."
You got Mike to laugh. That's not easy.
I mean,
That was good.
That was pretty good. The
I had to read it twice. I didn't get it
and
at first.
that's
Yeah, it's like what?
the holes are numbered. That's how he
It's a- it's a-
finds his
it's
way
a-
around the golf
Yeah,
course.
well,
It's
yeah.
a cute joke.
There's
Yeah.
a couple of courses that you're so confused with the numbers. But we played a couple of like teeing off the wrong holes. Is it?
Recart pass going different
All right,
directions.
Owen, you're up here.
I hate
All
that.
right.
Yeah.
The signs
Yeah,
all the way
they're-
that way.
By the way,
Arrow
guys,
got
you're on
flipped.
the 13th hole. You're like, I thought it was the 4th.
All right, Owen, let's hear it.
James was playing around with golf with the Club Pro one day.
Who was James?
Yeah, James.
Okay, James. I just wanted-
Four.
You didn't read the Owen part.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, you
says,
have to read
it says
Owen.
Owen.
Billy
Yeah,
Owen.
Owen.
Yeah, not Billy. Owen.
Oh.
Yeah.
I crossed.
Oh no, Billy's there too. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
crossed
it was
mine
a
off.
line
That's
through
Owen
it.
now. So James was golfing.
Yes, James.
Mhm.
He was playing around with golf with the Club Pro one day, and after 18 holes, they went into the clubhouse. James asked the pro, "What do you think of my game?" The pro replied, "You should shorten your clubs by 1 inch." James asked the pro. James asked if the pro thought this would help his game, to which the pro said, "No, but it'll help him fit in the trash can."
Oh,
That's a tough
oh,
pro,
they
man.
can join my hybrid.
Yeah. He said, "The club's not allowed in my house."
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome.
And
Oh,
that,
man.
that was good. Yes, it won't help his game, but it'll help him fit in the trash can. That
Too
James,
good.
is a tough game.
Too good.
Or
Mike.
yes, I'm not putting names anymore.
I just teased.
Spent 3 minutes putting them names on there today.
David tried to be particularly careful about his language as he played golf with his preacher.
Good
But
idea.
on the 12th hole, when he twice failed to hit it out of the sand trap, he lost his resolve and let fly a string of expletives. The preacher then felt obligated to respond. "I have observed," he said in a calm voice, "that the best golfers do not use foul language." "I guess not," said Dave. "What the hell do they have to cuss about?"
You get it? Good golfers don't need a cuss because they don't hit it bad.
Bad last line delivery.
Yeah, that
flopped- I
wasn't
flopped
your
it.
best,
I
dude.
flipped
I just
it.
feel
I
like-
did a flip wedge there and I
I
chunked
think
it.
that
Language part
could've
isn't
been-
quite true.
I think
I've
that
played
was
with some
Owen.
good golfers that definitely.
yeah, I know.
Some of the
Yeah.
best in the world. They string together some good series
Hey,
of words.
you were questioning a preacher, man.
No, he's
You were
great
questioning
guy.
the preacher.
Billy.
Great guy.
Was he a preacher?
Yeah, he's a preacher.
Okay.
You got one?
No, Owen shared mine.
You don't have a joke?
That
No.
was a nice joke.
Oh. That's
think
like
I'll-
one of my favorite moments of the weekly
Shut
show.
up, man. It really is. I consider myself somewhat humorous on a normal basis.
You're very
I am
humorous.
the worst joke teller, though. I don't
Really?
get it.
I don't
You
get
know,
that.
I know why. Because you're not a reader.
I'm not a reader. Yeah.
Why don't you start making up your own jokes? Like
Thanks.
Billy's
Don't
joke
you
of the
got
week.
someplace you have to be?
I think we should put Billy on the spot each week.
What do you think of the old 50 people? Girl, oh, you guys are okay. You're lucky. You guys are good. I'm in the 60s category. That's awful.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Well, I tell jokes, but if it's reading and telling it, it's brutal. And I
You're
don't
not a
read
reader.
well, so
You're not a reader. There's
a
nothing
little
wrong with that.
dyslexia going
When
on
you're not
now.
doing anything during the week, just memorize
Thanks.
one.
So don't you go check your video. Use your
Go check
Scorecast,
your
whatever it
video.
is. Track. What is the Scorecast? What do you use?
Lightscope.
Lightscope. we want to thank Rory Dahl, teacher professional out of Monarch Dunes, and the amazing Owen Avert. This is the last time you'll be on our show as a junior. So happy birthday, happy 18th.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Do you have plans for that day?
Not.
You should.
Not for the day.
Not for the day.
Yes.
All right, what are your plans for your birthday then?
The day or
Well, just in
surround?
general. Well, we're going to Montecito.
Yeah, we're getting to go play
That's
Montecito.
for your birthday, and then but do you know what you're doing yet? It's your 18th birthday, man.
not quite yet.
Congratulations,
Not yet.
Owen.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Thank you.
Good time in life.
Thanks for coming in, Rory. Hope
Yeah.
to see you
Thank
soon.
you, Rory.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
And Owen, thank
Always
you
a
guys.
pleasure.
We'll be right back.
Thank
One more
you.
segment of Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy right here on the Golf Talk Radio Network. Stay with us, everybody.